She's my sweet like a chocolate. When she come around, she a heavyweight. She a dance, she a move immediate.
You don't need to be a celebrity to be celebrated.
What is your baby name? I request for my baby girl.
Events TV Plus, a refreshing program showcasing the best of the best celebrations worldwide. Spicing up your celebrations. City on the hill that can never be hidden.
This is the city that is set upon the hill that cannot be hidden events. We are the Rolls Royce of all your entertainment shows on television. If your celebration is not on events, we wonder where else it will be. I'm Best Donne Anthony Towesho. I'd like to first of all give thanks to God, who has been our shield, who has been exceeding great reward. It is of the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed. We just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to Jehovah God for being with us over 2 decades. Not forgetting you all our numerous viewers all over the world. We'd like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Our show today is actually on another level. It is a different type of show today because we are showing you the Mark Brooks Education in association with the Department of Business and Trade in collaboration with the London Moms. And we present the Lagos to London exhibition and seminar in London. It's explanatory. You understand it, and for as many of you as are desiring to send your children or your wards from West Africa to school in the United Kingdom, this is for you.
My name is Mark Brooks and I'm an educational consultant. I've been working with families for 15 years in Nigeria.
Wow.
And I go there every few months and it's my favourite place and my favourite people I like working with. And I place about 70 students a year in British boarding schools and they're all fantastic. And a lot of them become head boy and head girl of their schools and senior prefects.
Why this seminar exhibition today?
So, we collaborated with Mark Brooks, who's an education consultant. And the reason we're doing this today was to start to bring people together to network here in London. This is our first event in London as Lagos Moms. So we're excited to have this London to Lagos in collaboration with Mark Brooks Education. And the reason we had this today was to be able to get parents to meet heads of schools, to talk about immigration, talk about wealth management, talk about financial planning. And it's been a great turnout. And the feedback so far has really been amazing because people have learned and met new people that and gotten new information that they might never have gotten access to before.
As Mark has said, to be taking out UK universities in November as well, with Steve heading up the delegation. So there's a real focus on UK partnerships with Africa, particularly Nigeria, but other countries as well. And really we're here to sort of set out the support from the UK government in this area.
Morning everyone, really nice to meet you. I'm Thea, I'm Mother Sarah at the Department of Business and Trade. It's a great pleasure as a school specialist to work with so many wonderful schools providers in the UK, so I really urge you to talk to them, ask them questions. They are so knowledgeable and they will be honest and frank about what is best for your children. But also I'd love to talk to you about your opinions, your ideas, and answer any questions you have. So I look forward to speaking with you more.
Thanks very much. Let's give a round of applause for your support.
Hi, good morning everyone, and thank you Mark and the team for inviting us. I'm Ugo Arinze with Onyx Property Team. We are a London-based property consultancy. We help our clients buy, sell, and relocate into the London property market. And then if you do need to go further afield outside of London, we certainly have colleagues we can connect you to.
Yes, I'm Peter Sayers. I'm Head of International Business Development at Strabons Hall. We're an independent wealth planning firm based here in London. I was based in Jersey for 25 years prior to relocating back to London. And at Strabons Hall, we specialise in looking after complicated wealth planning issues which can impact particularly families that may not be from Britain but have significant interests in the UK, either through property or businesses. And we can advise on the various cross-border issues that arise to do with tax, to do with any challenges that families face when they have investments or connections to the UK. We do have a number of Nigerian clients. Many of those already have structures and so forth in places like Jersey, where they may have trusts or offshore companies and so forth. And I spend significant time in Jersey, and we often work with trustees and other professionals connected with the solutions that we arrange.
And I will stay with you. And so I wanted to talk through if you are advising a family who's looking to potentially relocate or invest in the UK, and you're walking through a bit of a timeline here. What are some of the steps you would advise the family should start thinking about if they were speaking to you to get ready for that?
Yes, certainly anybody that's looking at either relocating to the UK to live or looking at making any kind of significant investment in property or other assets here, they need to take tax advice in the early stages, probably before they've made any commitment, because there's things that need to be considered and there's planning that you can undertake at the beginning of the process. And if you leave it too late, you may miss certain opportunities that were otherwise available to you. And so also, please do not underestimate the complications and the timescales involved in this type of planning.
So Ugo, I would like to ask you about housing, and one of the challenges that quite a few Nigerian families face when they are moving to the UK is getting housing, getting a property, like whether as a renter or buying. What are some of the things you would advise?
Well, I'll speak to the rental side first. So if you're obviously looking to relocate and considering the rental option, which makes sense if you're not familiar with the country, why jump into buying something? But Nigerians, London has been a base that they're very comfortable with, so many of them are already at the point where they're ready to buy. But assuming you're looking to rent, I think one of the dynamics that's interesting is that asking prices are asking prices, so there is some negotiation. Since over the last 2 years, so as the UK market started opening up and London started opening up post-COVID, the demand for housing has tripled. I mean, on the rental side, it is highly competitive right now. So anybody who's trying to rent, we have listings that we rent. You'll get dozens of inquiries and interest. You have people willing to pay 12 months rent in advance, 6 months rent in advance. taking it sight unseen. So I think you have to be prepared for a relatively competitive market. Now, obviously, if you're looking to perhaps rent a home, that pool starts getting smaller, right? So the competition level is not as significant. But we do find properties for families that might just want a base, a 1 or 2 bedroom flat, because the children will be coming during holiday breaks, and then the parents will come, or other siblings might come. So you have to be prepared that the current dynamic of the market right now is it's still highly competitive, and therefore we want to prepare people for the fact that to the extent you can be flexible and offer significant funds up front, and you're likely not going to pass tenant referencing anyway, so we need to prepare people that they're going to be looking to pay 6 months to 12 months down.
Thank you so much. And Peter, I would like to ask this final question in terms of the types of clients that you tend to work with.
Yes, thank you. So generally we look after families that either are UK resident and a sort of traditional British family that are born and bred here, or we also look after families that live in the UK but they're non-domiciled, so they could be from Nigeria, from Ghana, or from an African country, but they now reside in the UK. And whether they stay in the UK or not in the future hasn't been determined yet. But whilst you are UK resident, you have UK tax issues which need to be addressed for as long as you're here. So the families that we look after quite often have complicated cross-border challenges, because if you have residences or businesses or properties in more than one country, and if you're remitting funds from one country to another, there are currency issues, there are exchange controls issues, there's all sorts of things that one has to address.
All right, so as we wrap up, are there any questions at all for Ugo or Peter? Well, they've covered everything very in-depth. And I guess as we wrap up, if you can just share maybe one last sentence in terms of how people can get in touch with you and just encouraging.
We're excited about what we do. We're on social media actively, and always happy to have a consultation, have an initial call, and just point you in the right direction, and we're really happy to do that at any time.
So we, my firm, Strabons Hall, our office is in Soho, which is a 10-minute walk up towards Oxford Street. We welcome anyone to come and meet in our offices. Alternatively, I travel extensively. We often meet people in hotels or in a private location if they prefer that. And of course, these days, there's the video call option. So we do a lot of initial meetings on Zoom or Teams or whatever, and that works very well because you can see people, and it's the next best thing to an in-person meeting.
Thank you so much, Peter. Thanks so much, Ugo. Thank you.
Good. Well, thanks very much. So if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Okay, good morning all, welcome. I am Camilla Bradley, I'm Head of Marketing and Admissions at Ratcliffe College. It is a co-ed day and boarding school based in Leicestershire, the East Midlands. We are a day and boarding school for ages 3 to 18, so we have a nursery, prep, senior, and offer at A level at sixth form as well. At the moment, sort of admissions, we're doing really well. We've got around, we're at our peak really with admissions. We're about sort of just over 900 students in school. We are a Catholic boarding school as well. So we do heavily rely on sort of operating around our Catholic values.
Okay, the usual minute. Really hard for me to talk about TASIS England in 1 minute. I could talk for about an hour. But we're based about 30 minutes from central London, 15 to 20 minutes in the car from Heathrow, so very central. And yet we're lucky enough to have a beautiful 46-acre campus, which we're very proud of. We are co-educational. We teach right from 3, so early years right through to 18, so that's our grade 12. And we have at the moment about 650 students, and around 240 of those are boarders. So just over a third. we're really lucky to have very small class sizes, so the average class size will be around 10 in our upper school. We have very dedicated teachers for each specialist subject. Mark always teases me because I talk about the number of nationalities at TASIS, but we're really, really pleased that we have at the moment 73 different nationalities, and we cap that at 10. It was 67, yes, at the end of last academic year in June it was 67. We actually started our new academic year last Wednesday with 73 different nationalities, and that's likely to increase throughout the academic year as well.
Hi, my name's Bish Muir and I'm Director of External Relations at Haberdashers' Monmouth School, which is on the Welsh-English border in the most beautiful part of the world, which is the Wye Valley. If anyone knows the Wye Valley, it's absolutely beautiful. The River Wye comes down to the Severn Estuary, and we are right on the River Wye. So it is a stunning location, and we also do 3 to 18. I think that the most significant thing about the school is it is a haberdashers' school. So that's the worshipful company of haberdashers. They own, or they started about 12 schools around the country, and some of them are state, some of them are independent. Monmouth is one of the independent ones. And so there is a legacy that every child who goes to the school has, which is that they inherit this legacy of networking within the haberdashers company. The other thing is that we are going fully co-ed from September 24. So about 5 years ago, the sixth form went co-ed, and that was very successful. Then the prep school went co-ed, and that again about 18 months ago, again that was really successful. And now the last bit of the jigsaw is the senior school. So from September they will be one. They already do stuff together, but it will be official.
Good morning, everyone. The only other person I think Mark is fearful of taking a mic apart from Sarah is myself. I am Lindy Smith. I am the Head of Admissions and Administration at LBS Ascot. So we are a licensed lecturer school, part of the licensed trade charity, and have been going since the 1800s, and we have 2 sister schools who specifically deal with students who have SEN or any learning needs. But we are based in Ascot, so easy to get to, lovely 26-acre site, co-ed school, from ages 4 to 18, and run the GCSE and A-level program. It is a community, it is a family. It sounds really cliche to say that, but the South African in me is not very good at selling something that I don't believe in. My face will say something different. So it really is a wonderful place to be. We have a number of Nigerian students, 27 different nationalities, sadly for us.
My name is Sarah Matthews and I'm headmistress at Truro High School for Girls. We are an award-winning school that is just for girls, so sorry if you have sons, we're not the place for you, but we are a place where girls will thrive. And it was established in 1880 by the Bishop of Truro, who went on to be the Archbishop in the UK. And he wanted something different for his daughters. He wanted somewhere where stereotypes were gone and that they could achieve in anything. And so that's really dear to us, that we want them to thrive in absolutely everything. So Ellie, who's a ballet dancer in the top picture there, Ellie goes from there to building race cars on a Tuesday after school, to going to the medic programme on Wednesday after school. She has also just passed, she's year 9, she's 13, she's just achieved a top grade in her Japanese GCSE that she took early. So that's the kind of thing that the girls do with us. They don't see limits, and we just ask all the time, what more can we do? What more can we do?
Thank you. Good morning. My name's Debbie Bellinger. I'm Head of Admissions at City of London Freeman's School. The City of London Corporation own 3 schools, 2 actually in the square mile. Don't be fooled by the name. We are not in London. We are actually in Surrey. We are a day and boarding school, situated about 35-minute train ride into London, midway between Gatwick and Heathrow airports, but we have the benefit that we are on a lovely 57-acre leafy campus. We're a school of about 950, of which 66 of those students are boarding students. We take children from the age of 7 up to 18, GCSE and A-level school. We're academically successful, and I think there are 3 words that we use to sum up Freeman's, and those words are learn, lead and make a difference.
Thank you very much. Should have sat the other end of the line, really. How do you compete with all that? My name's Simon Bird. I am the Deputy Head at Junior King's Canterbury. We're the junior school to the King's School Canterbury, which is the oldest school in England. And at the junior school we have children from 3 to 13. Also the senior school obviously goes all the way up to 18. The vast majority of our pupils in the junior school will go straight on to senior Kings. So last year 85% of them did so. And please do come and speak to me later. I can tell you about both schools and would gladly give you all the information that you need. At the junior school we have a very diverse community. We are co-ed, we have about 75 boarders from all over the world. We have an additional 20 to 25 flexi boarders as well from the UK. So very international but also very UK focused in many ways as well. We have I think that probably the thing we're most proud of at Junior Kings is our diverse range of activities. We have a massive activities programme from fencing to horse riding to sailing to rowing, loads and loads of things that we can offer.
Thanks very much, Simon. We're going to finish with a 30-second answer. What is it that you appreciate about West African students in your school, and how do you ensure that they thrive in your school as well?
We have a large number of Nigerian and West African students in the school at the moment, particularly through to the senior school, who've done really well at the school. They've really enjoyed the range of activities, the range of opportunities as well. And I think what they get out from this, most of all, particularly at my prep school level, is that preparation for a senior school.
The thing that really has impressed me about students who come from West Africa is their work ethic. That they really have a desire to learn and to do their very best, and that is something that I think certainly we value, and I think that we can take that work ethic and turn it into something really positive.
I'm sitting here listening to everything that everybody's saying. It's exactly that. It is the resilience and the risk-taking. It is all of that. But more often than not, it's about the independence. They instill a different level of self-discipline and a different level of independence amongst their peers.
Schools love working with West African parents, and it's you guys who because we know you're ambitious for your children. We know that you instill, very strict rules and regulations, but ethics and morals. Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything that everyone's been saying. We're tremendously lucky at TASIS England. We've got a large number of students from West Africa. And there's so many great things about them and their families and what they contribute to the school and the community. If I had to pick just one thing though, I think it would be the huge amounts of energy and enthusiasm that the students from West Africa bring.
What's left to say? I think I just reiterate really everything that everybody's said. I think for us, I do want to touch upon our stance as our school motto is encouraging big ideas, and if anything I've seen with African students coming into school at Ratcliffe is that really they do bring big ideas, they fully immerse themselves into our community, they bring kindness, they bring independence, they bring resilience. And I think with Ratcliffe having very similar to the other schools, such a diverse community in the boarding houses, it's great to see some of those relationships with African students.
Good. Well, thanks very much for that session, because I think it's a good note to end on, that Nigerian and West African families in general, and also South African families who are starting to join us, bring a lot to our community, and there's a real appreciation of how well you're bringing up your children and what an influence they are in our communities as well. So thanks very much for that, and thanks very much for all the contributions you said.
Thank you.
Questions? Yes, good point.
Sorry, my name is Dr. Douglas. I'm the immediate past chairman of the Nigerian community in the UK. Now, the greatest challenge about bringing in young ones from Nigeria to the UK is that aspect of guardianship. in between school times and holidays. So what is your advice to parents about what to do about that?
Yeah, I mean, at TASIS England, we act as the guardian, so we don't require them to have another guardian on top of that. We don't have any exeat, so we're not having times when they have to leave their boarding house. So for us, it's not an issue. We, like I say, for all of our boarders, we act as their guardians.
So we're very different to Sarah. We do ask that they have a guardian, but we do help you to find one. We can't actually legally recommend one, but what we will say is these are ones that our students are happy with. We are down in Cornwall, so a little bit further away, so we don't have exeats either, but there does need to be a guardian for an emergency situation. I will say, in all honesty, as a head teacher, the emergency situation we legally have to have a guardian for is if your child's going to be excluded, we need to know that they're going to be picked up. I have luckily never had that scenario, and I certainly wouldn't expect it from a student from West Africa, so I don't think you have to worry too much.
Yeah, I was just going to say a lot of schools, especially those out of London, will have their own network of guardians, so just contact the school and ask that question.
I think we're going to have some coffee and a break. Any more questions? Yes.
You've got a good number of African kids in your schools from what you've said. How do you cope with the food? Because in my role, one of the things that I double on is a guardian. So when the kids do come back, it's always the food. We've had kids removed from schools because of food. Now this gentleman here, having sixth form, has solved that problem. He serves jollof rice. It's literally just rice and sauce mixed together, and the kids love it. So have you considered doing that?
Our team are brilliant at offering a variety of options on any single day. So the menu is never a week A, week B menu. It completely changes from week to week. There's some very interesting things that sometimes come out, I've got to say myself, because we eat there as well. So we every day have a vegetarian option, a meat option, a pasta station, a jacket potato station, a full salad bar, 3 types of dessert, very slightly upmarket sometimes a bread, grapes and cheese station. And then there is, every week they have a day of different cultural food.
If I need to bring my child to your school, so what's the most important thing you want to tell me?
Yeah, so we're really diverse. We've got a whole range of nationalities, but we are co-ed. We go from age 3 to 13, and the senior school goes from 13 all the way up to 18. We have 65 full boarders from all around the world. We have another 20 flexi boarders from the UK. We have a whole range of activities from fencing to horse riding to rowing to sailing.
We're talking about refreshments. We've got a couple more sessions to get through. So have a quick coffee break and mingle, then we'll be back again in 5 minutes. So thanks very much for the panel. It was brilliant. Thank you.
Sweet like a chocolate. When she come around, she heavyweight. She a dance, she a move, immediate.
You don't need to be a celebrity to be celebrated.
I what is your baby name? I request for my baby girl.
Events TV Plus, a refreshing program showcasing the best of the best celebrations worldwide. Spicing up your celebrations. City on the hill that can never be hidden. The spiritual controls the physical. The Zoe Ministries International presents London Miracle Explosions with Reverend Dr. Patrick Anwuzia. Theme: The God that answers by fire. Let him be God. every Sunday and Tuesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Walworth Methodist Church, London, SE5 0EW. Demonstration of Power with Reverend Dr. Patrick Anwuzia. Those who know their God shall be strong and do exploits.
Very, very interesting part 1. Another interesting part 2, which talks about immigration. And for as many of you as want to relocate with your children and you have businesses, this is for you. Tell us about Lagos Moms.
Lagos Moms is a community that's about 10 years old, and I started it as a new mom myself to be a support community for mothers, fathers, and caregivers. And it's grown over the years, and we've been able to support thousands of parents with raising children in the 21st century.
Lagos London Moms.
Yes. So Lagos to London Moms is a new group that we've just started, and it's to support a lot of the families. It's to support a lot of the families that are relocating, thinking about relocating, or have recently, moved countries, and they need support as well. There's something about community, and there's something about being able to support ourselves based on similarities and lived experiences. So what we do with Lagos to London Moms is to create that community that supports families. We're back for a quick chat on student visas and family immigration. And I think I'll start with Jonathan. Can you just introduce yourself, your company, and what you do, and then we'll go into detail.
So my name is Jonathan Hill, and I manage the education practice set up within Fragaman, who are a global immigration law firm. And we have 2 offices in the UK, and we essentially are here to support the education sector, be it families, agents or schools, in relation to all immigration matters. And to ensure a smooth and efficient process from the very beginning. We understand that obviously the visa application is really the first step in the process that the families will need to go through, and we want to make sure that's as smooth as possible to allow the family to concentrate on other matters as well.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. My name is Chelemet. I'm one of the partners at Garth Court Solicitors. We are a boutique immigration law firm. We're based in London. We have been working with Western African families for 15 years now, and we have a strong presence, in particular in Nigeria. We travel to Nigeria regularly. We have another trip coming in 2-3 weeks' time, and we will be meeting families in Lagos. And we specialize in immigration, all areas of immigration, but we are strong in work-related and business-related visas.
Thank you. Let's stay with you actually. So this next question is about, are you seeing an increase in the number of Nigerian West African families moving to the UK? Why do you think that is?
There's been a huge increase. I mean, official figures, I think it's about 80% compared to pre-pandemic. And obviously then this goes in line with the work-related visas. That's also about 80% increase compared to pre-pandemic period. These are Home Office statistics. I think Mark contributed a lot because, as I said, the student visas, it goes hand in hand with the work-related visas. He's doing an outstanding work, and if you look at the top 5 table, Nigeria is in the table both in student visas and in work-related visas.
Could you share the typical process, for a student? Let's talk about the student visa process.
In terms of the process itself, the application process is based online, so there is an online application form that does need to be completed. which is reasonably straightforward itself to complete. The complications arise really from the supporting documentation that needs to be submitted with the application, which can include documents such as financial documentation, TB test certificates, parental support and consent. Once the online application's been submitted and the documents uploaded, the process does involve the requirement for the child to go along to a local application centre to enrol their biometrics, which is their biometric information which supports the application. So that's something that can attract a slight delay. Usually it's around a week or two in terms of availability for appointments there, but again it's something to factor into the process. Once the biometrics have been completed, then it's the UK government decision and processing time that also needs to be factored in there. This year we're seeing the process times are reasonably quick, but again I think it's forward planning, because as you move towards the end of the summer, a lot of the higher education applications begin to be submitted, and so what you find is the processing times then begin to be extended. So wherever you can apply, maybe May, June time, that will allow for the visa to be secured a lot quicker than what it will sort of throughout August effectively.
I'd like to go through the same similar question with you, but maybe we focus on family relocation and a typical process. And you can use any case study you want to use for us today.
Okay. So in terms of the application process, Jonathan actually explained, and it's the same, like the logistics of application. Doesn't matter if it's a student visa or a family-related application. Now, when we say family, the main category is anyone joining their spouse here. The category in itself can be complicated depending on your circumstances, but usually I would say similar to the student visa, you should start planning at least 6 months before, because there are some requirements that would maybe need you to have certain amount of savings in your personal bank account for 6 months, etc. So the golden rule, you start planning as early as possible. Unlike the student visas, family-related visas tend to take longer for understandable reasons, in particular when children are involved. Detailed checks are carried out. So even if it's a priority service, it may take up to 30 working days. And if it's a standard application, it may sometimes take up to 6 months just for the application to be processed. It is getting better, but still family-related visas, they tend to take longer, and it requires planning well in advance. So that's what I would suggest. But if you want me to explain work-related visas also, I'm happy to do that. So work-related visas, there are various categories depending on the applicant. This may be a work permit, this may be more like a business type visa that you're running your own business. There are various categories, but the process, once you have the relevant endorsement, let's say, either from a UK company or if you're applying to run your own business from an endorsing body, once you have that in place, the actual visa application can be completed in 5 working days. Under the priority service is pretty straightforward. You asked earlier, one of the maybe most common categories that we are helping with are Nigerian families, is that since Brexit, December 2020, the new rules that have been introduced made it easier for also small-scale businesses to incorporate in the UK and then obtain relevant license and then the work permit, which was not practically possible, let's say, before December 2020. Now, there are some flexible rules in place which makes it easier for small-scale businesses. As a result, we had so many business persons incorporating their businesses here in the UK, obtaining license, and then effectively sponsoring themselves for their work permits. So that's been one of the most popular categories. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I guess as just to wrap up, if you can share 2 things. One is the experience you've gained from working with a lot of West African families, yes. And in terms of anybody that wants to reach out to you, the best way to get in touch with you.
I have been working with Nigerian families for more than 15 years now, and genuinely it's been, in terms of professional dealings, let's say, a lot easier to deal with Nigerian families. They're really compassionate about their children, and that just reflects on the application process. So they do, in their capacity, their best to help us. So it's a teamwork. So we appreciate that.
And lastly, where they can find you?
Okay, so we are based in central London, very close to British Museum. And as I said, we travel regularly to Nigeria, and we can meet families also in Nigeria. We do video calls, Zoom calls for families who cannot come to the UK and have in-person meetings. I'm a bit old school still, I think. I prefer in-person meetings if possible. But if not, of course, we do video calls. I will leave some brochures here and my cards, and you have our firm's name on the banner behind me. So you can just fill out an online inquiry form, and we will just do normally an initial assessment, and then we will try and help with your plans in the UK.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, likewise, in terms of our work with West African families, it's really that personal touch that we really do enjoy, obviously, in terms of working with the families, and also playing a vital part, obviously, in the child's journey, in terms of their educational journey, and making sure that the visa is secured correctly is a very vital part in terms of the starting process, but also we do find that families often come back to us for further support in terms of when the child moves into further education, higher education, and we're on hand to support there as well, really. In terms of our interactions, again, very similar in terms of the fact that we do offer online video calls with families where needed there. And when we do go out to Nigeria, we're happy to obviously meet up with families and offer an in-person sort of discussion there as well. Very similar in terms of the contact with ourselves. Obviously, we have the stand here today, and if you did need any contact details, I have those to hand. But essentially, it would be a case of reaching out to the firm with some basic details to begin with, and then we'll be in touch to arrange a call and to take things forward there with you, really, in terms of the process. As we mentioned from the very beginning, I think the most important is that planning ahead and making sure that the process is started as early as possible, so we can obviously help as soon as possible for you.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
everyone.
What has brought you here?
Well, I'm a mum of 3 kids, 3 young kids, and so I like to plan in advance. So I came here to meet the schools and, get a sense of what their offerings were and what I need to be thinking about to put in place in advance.
Okay, which of the schools has attracted you?
Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot now. Let me see. Truro has been interesting. There's an American school. I want to say Tassis.
Okay.
Sounded, quite interesting as well. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to all of them. There was one that was in Cambridge, so we'll see. I'm going round to talk to them. Yeah.
So we're about education, but we're about making sure the girls have the skills to thrive, whatever they choose to do, to become leaders in their field. For us, it's about making sure that we remove any barriers that girls might have to education, providing every single opportunity they could ever imagine to make sure that whatever path they choose, they have the skills and the confidence and the moral compass to make sure that they achieve the very highest.
Are you a boarding school?
We are a boarding school, so we're about 80% day and 20% boarding, and the boarders really enrich our community.
So I'm going to start off with the first question, is to introduce yourself, but say something unique about your school.
Hi, my name is Gareth Collier. I'm currently the principal of Cardiff Sixth Form College, which is the #1 academic school in the United Kingdom for A-levels and has been for the last 12 years. If you are ambitious, if you're excited, if you are wanting to go to the top universities, the top courses, come and give me a chat. I also represent Duke's Education. We represent 58 schools in the United Kingdom. 47 of them are in London, nurseries, day schools, and occasional boarding school. So if you're coming to the UK from West Africa, into London particularly, we have an offering which will suit you somewhere in the UK.
Brilliant. So interestingly, we were coming back to this, but Gareth was talking about day schools just then as well. So Lucia, brilliant.
Hi everybody, I'm Lucia Batain. I'm the International Relations Officer for the Lee School in Cambridge,
We are the only co-educational boarding and day school right in the centre of Cambridge. We have 50 acres of land and we only have 570 pupils. So we take a very small amount of pupils versus the size of the facilities and area that we have in Cambridge. We like to call ourselves the big school, because the big small school, because of this. Lots of room to grow, thrive, experience, amazing facilities, but equally such a small kind of student body that we're able to really understand and get to know every single pupil and provide a really tight pastoral unit around every single pupil that we have.
And how far is Cambridge from London by train, for example?
We are only 50 minutes from King's Cross, so it's very quick. We're really close to Stansted Airport as well, and then obviously links from Cambridge to Heathrow and Gatwick.
Hi, I'm Sam Pennycook. I'm from Aldenham School. We are located about 20 minutes from here, just in North London. I'd say one of the most unique things about us, we've got a 110-acre site, which is 20 minutes from central London, sits right next to the M1, the M25, between Luton Airport and Heathrow Airport. So in terms of accessibility, you're not really going to find anywhere better. One of the other things I would say that's pretty impressive with our school is we're only about 700 students. We were last year the most successful football school in the entire country. That's independent and state. So we won 8 major finals, including the ESPRA under 15 and the nationals at under 13 and 14. So if you have got boys that are interested or girls that are interested in playing football and want to be anywhere near London, then we are an exceptional option for you.
Good to hear you have girls football as well, which is leading the way. Fun.
Hi there. If you're looking for school uniforms and 500 years of tradition and a school that looks like the kind of school you went to, you're welcome to go and speak to someone else. If you're looking for a progressive community that is genuinely diverse and gets you ready for an evolving world, then come and talk to me. I'm Barney Sandow. I'm the head of school at ACS Cobham. We've got 125 acres, that's 20 minutes from Heathrow and 30 minutes from central London. We've got facilities that will blow your socks off. Our mission is to inspire the world's next global thinkers and doers. If you want to be part of a community that aspires to be learners that can be successful in whatever field they end up in, that are confident as individuals to face the challenges that will come their way, and care enough to go out and make a difference, then you might like to come and find out some more about us. I hope to speak to some of you very soon. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Richard Mills. I'm the registrar at Bede Senior School, which is based in East Sussex, and I'm going to talk to Barnaby next. We're based in East Sussex. We're just over an hour from Gatwick Airport, an hour and 3/4 from London Heathrow, and an hour direct to by train to London Victoria. We've got 840 pupils at Bede, so 340 boarders and just under 500 day students. We are co-ed. Some of our what we're good at, what we're known for, we've got a national reputation for our sport. Football, hockey and cricket, both for boys and girls. We were national under-18 boys football champions a couple of years ago. Not quite last year, because I think we did lose to the school to my left. And we're girls under-18 national cricket champions. So we have sports academies, as I said, in football, hockey and cricket, both for boys and girls. We're also very strong in performing arts, visual arts. Our Year 12s have just spent a week up in the Edinburgh Festival, for example. So yes, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about Bede, I'm just based in the corner over there later on. Many thanks.
Hi, I'm Jane. I'm the admissions manager at the National Mathematics and Science College. You can call us NatMatSci, a lot easier. We are the only specialised maths and science school in the UK. So a very exciting school, very progressive. We take students from 15 to 19 years and prepare them for top universities. We are proudly geeky. So as our principal always says, we really exist for those kids that are very talented and very passionate about maths and science. So in every class you might get 2 or 3 students who are really, really good at maths, but sometimes they're marginalised, they're kind of on the edge. We take those students and we let them go further. Our motto is like, go further, come run with the swift. And we really take those students they can go beyond the curriculum with us. Our teachers are very passionate and geeky. A lot of them have PhDs in their subject areas, and we really allow kids to go a bit further. For example, we have whiteboards all around the school. Each week a problem goes up, and the teachers and the kids are all sort of like, in break times, trying to solve the problem. So it's that kind of stimulating environment. We have a STEM communication program where we have games design workshops. We had last year Warwick University came in to do Warwick Uni satellite program, talked about degrees in engineering and careers. So we're super STEM focused. We're very state-of-the-art. The Good School Guide said it's like walking into Starship Enterprise at our school. So we're not quite Hogwarts, we're sort of the opposite. We're very state-of-the-art. We have gorgeous boarding facilities, the Alchemist restaurants, where we do all types of cuisine, and the students get involved in that as well. It's a really lovely school. We're a small, vibrant scientific community. We've had amazing A-level results. Our students go on to Oxbridge, Russell Group, top universities. We're based in Warwickshire, which is a lovely leafy area. We're about 1 hour from London by train. So do come and visit us. We'd love to see you. Thank you.
Well, a question we had on tip of somebody's tongue in the previous session was about finances. Do schools ever give bursaries or scholarships for students? You're nodding your head there at the end there, so if we carry on with the microphone.
Yes, as a sort of specialised school, we are always on the lookout for students that are talented in maths and science. So we do offer scholarships, which you do our normal entrance assessments and an additional scholarship paper in maths. And we really do welcome scholarship applications, which are a percentage reduction on our tuition fees, not the boarding fees, but we are very keen to hear, and we do welcome scholarship applications.
We help families if they are looking for scholarships with applications to schools, and there's still schools for September entry that have scholarships available, but it needs a lot of planning and help as well in terms of interviewing the student and giving them coaching, presenting a CV of your child, what their skills are, what they're going to bring to school, and really thinking through the whole process. The final question I'd like to ask is, we talked about results, we talked about the child being part of an important boarding community and life afterwards, but how do you reinforce the values of West African families and ethos and values and skills in your school? How do you kind of prepare students for the future with the kind of skills that they're going to last with for life and values? Gareth?
I think we're probably going to all have the same answer here, so I'm delighted to go first. Apologies on that. I think we only educate for skills, quite frankly. The rest of it comes along as part of the journey. So we would try to educate our children to have a place in the world of work in the future, which is uncertain already. And so if we give them the skills, we teach them to communicate, to collaborate, to be critical thinkers, to be creative, the 4 C's. If we give them the idea that they need to be dedicated, determined and disciplined, the 3 Ds, I've got this for every letter of the alphabet, then what we're doing is we're giving them the skills to be able to be successful in their future lives. Guess what? The results come.
For those who've been to Africa or know West African families or students, what have you learned from them?
I think what I've learnt the most is actually working very closely with one of our Nigerian pupils, Sam, who is currently in the upper sixth, and he is our senior prefect for Malton, which is our year 7 and 8, so he looks after the younger pupils as they come in. And I've had so many lovely conversations with him, and I think what I've learnt the most about West African families and moving from Nigeria is that kind of like very humble sense of self, and the confidence that he has is it's very hard to explain, but it's underlying everything he does, and he doesn't shout about the things he does.
Tell us about the nationalities in your school. How many nationalities?
So we have more than 75 different nationalities. We have West Africa is well represented in all elements, both of our day and our boarding communities, and they play a vital part in bringing that thinking together from every different corner of the world, because we believe that the children are graduating into a global economy, and we're getting getting them set up to make the most of that.
Thank you to Sarah and Chidi and Thea for all your support over the years as well, and future support, and supporting what we're doing with British education and waving the West African flag for us as well. So thanks very much for that. Thank you for the schools who've come from all over the UK and parents who've come from all over the world to be here today. So give us a round of applause to everybody here today.
What have you found interesting about this particular exhibition or seminar?
It's great because you have direct access to the schools. Without having to go visit the schools, you can get a very good sense from the get-go about what they're about, what their ethos is, and it's not too big. It's intimate enough that you can ask them the very pertinent questions that you have. So for me, that's good because I can get one-on-one time with the school administrators and ask them the questions that I have.
What's about today's event?
Today's event was fantastic. It was called Lagos to London, and it was for families who are moving from the whole of Africa to the whole of the UK. And we had advisors on wealth, immigration, visas, boarding schools, buying a property, working with estate agents, everything you need to know about moving to the UK. And the buzz has been great, and we've had a good turnout as well from families from Africa and heads of schools as well. So it's been a lot of good fun, and we're already planning the next one.
Pick up your phones and call the numbers on the screen if you want us to be part of your celebrations, your seminar, or your exhibitions anywhere you are in the world. I remain Bessie Donne Anthony Toesho. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Details on the screen. By the grace and the mercies of God, we'll see you same time next week. Bye for now.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ tó yàtọ̀.